Sometimes in our Christian life, we need to be reminded of things that are true. And one of the reasons we need to be reminded of things that are true is because the world around us largely is not speaking truth. They are speaking what would be classified or defined as individual truth, their truth. It's true to them. But that doesn't necessarily mean that what they're saying or what they believe is true in the sense of universal truth, of God truth. And so we need to be reminded as Christians from time to time about what exactly is true. Sometimes as we come through the Psalms, we see these declarations really of just truth. And I think it's a way of the psalmist reminding himself, and by virtue of us reading this, reminding us that there are things that are true, even when the rest of the world seems to have forgotten or rejected that truth. This is the Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional. My name is Jeremy Stallnecker. And Psalm 53 is one of those psalms that just simply reminds us of what is true. At the end of this psalm, there is a bit of hope. But here's how it begins. Psalm 53 and verse 1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. That's just a statement of fact. For someone to reject God, and this doesn't even take us into a clear understanding of who God is and how he interacts with us and what it all means. This isn't any of that. It's just a rejection of God. There is no God. The psalmist reminds us that only a fool could come to the conclusion that there is no God. And then he describes this person. He says, corrupt are they and have done abominable iniquity, and there is none that doeth good. There is none that doeth good. We know this from the New Testament as well. There's none that doeth good. There's none righteous, no, not one. That's why we need a Savior. We can't earn salvation. But the Bible here tells us, and the psalmist is explaining to us or reminding us that only a fool would reject God. And why is this important? Because when it comes to being reminded of truth, there are so many in our world that reject God. They say there is no God, or even if they wouldn't say those words, they live as though there is no God. Because if there is no God, then there is no accountability. And if there is no accountability, there is only, as we mentioned, my truth. What is true to me. It's relativistic. It only applies to what I think and what I care about and what I feel. I can do whatever I want to because there is nothing beyond me. Some would say that's a liberating thought. I would say that is an enslaving thought. The reality that the only thing I have in this world to depend on is me. Only a fool would come to that conclusion. Now, I don't think we should walk around calling everyone a fool, but we need to be confident in the reality that only a person who can't see or experience creation, a person who is blind to the intricacies of this universe in which we live, only a person who thinks that nothing exists beyond themselves could possibly conclude that there is no God. That's verse number 1. And then a description of this person is in verses 2, 3, 4, and 5. Verse 6 says this, Oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. There's a lot in that verse, but here's the declaration. Here's the hope. One day, God will set everything right. And the encouragement for us today is this. You are not foolish for putting your confidence in God. In fact, only a fool would reject the idea of God. Continue to trust him, continue to live for him, and while doing that, have the confidence that the psalmist has at the end of this chapter where he says, one day, God will bring everything back into alignment and put everything right where it belongs. What a wonderful truth. And from time to time, we just need to stop and be reminded of what is true. And today we're reminded that what is true is that God is real. He is in and over all. He is sovereign. He has a plan. And one day he will bring that plan to pass. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow for another Mighty Oaks Daily Devotional. For more information about the Mighty Oaks Foundation and the work that we do for veterans, active duty service members, and first responders, please visit mightyoaksprograms.org.